And meanwhile, News Nation continuing to closely track the story of 3 American sailors still missing in Mexico, a married couple and their crew member last seen 12 days ago. The U.S. Coast Guard is assisting the Mexican Navy in the search for the trio and their vessel, and now family members say hundreds of boaters are helping in that search, pointing out that all 3 are experienced sailors. The family's issuing this statement telling News Nation, quote, "Bill has over 50 years of sailing experience and is an extremely talented coastal cruiser. Carrie and Frank have 20 years sailing together and both hold captain's licenses with the U.S. Coast Guard." And I do want to welcome in Greg Higgins now, Search Mission Coordinator with the U.S. Coast Guard, for an update on this search tonight. Greg, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You know, this trip should have taken 2 days. I know they were last seen 12 days ago. Is the Coast Guard remaining hopeful at this point that they will still be rescued alive?
I can tell you that the Coast Guard is aggressively assisting the Mexican Navy in their search efforts. The Mexican Navy has the lead in this search, and the U.S. Coast Guard is assisting them to the maximum extent possible.
Okay, can you tell us about the weather conditions when the trio set sail and how that's factoring into the search now?
Yeah, the sailing vessel Oceanbound left Mazatlan, Mexico on the 4th of April with an intended stop in Cabo San Lucas and then intended to continue up the coast to San Diego. We looked at the weather conditions at that time, approximately the 6th of April, and they were significant off the Baja Peninsula, off the ocean off Cabo San Lucas. Significant winds and significant waves if they were to have continued on.
Okay, I appreciate that detail. Is the Coast Guard looking into the possibility of foul play at this point, perhaps drug smugglers or so-called pirates at this time?
We are not. The Coast Guard, the U.S. Coast Guard, is conducting search planning to the maximum extent possible and focusing search efforts. The scenario doesn't really matter to us. If the vessel became disabled or in distress in any capacity, we're going to be searching for them.
We know hundreds of vessels are on the lookout as well, as far south as South America in case the vessel has drifted. Have cell phone pings been useful at all in this missing case so far?
They have some of the corroborating evidence we have that the vessel left Mazatlan, Mexico on the 4th. We know that from cell phone pings. They were the last positive identification that the vessel was there on the 4th, in addition to a Facebook post sort of confirming that.
And no pings since then?
That is correct.
Okay, is that concerning at all, or is that expected if they're moving through that area?
If they're moving through that area, there are not a lot of cell phone towers along the Baja coast. It is fairly desolate, and so that doesn't indicate a lot. But certainly that fact that no vessels have seen them, nor do we have any other sightings of the vessel, increases our level of concern, which then pushes us to do more searching and more collaboration with the Mexican Navy, who has been excellent to work with in this search and rescue case.
And knowing the facts that you know about this case, how would you describe the level of concern right now of the U.S. Coast Guard?
The level of aggressiveness that we're pursuing the search is at our highest level. We assess it as a potential distress, and we are providing fixed-wing aircraft as well as Coast Guard cutters to assist the Mexican Navy, who also is aggressively searching to the maximum extent possible.
Very last question for you. You know, we are starting to hear from the families. We know one of the mothers said she knew something was wrong immediately after she did not get the daily update that she expects from her child. What can you tell us about how the families are doing in all of this?
I can't directly comment. I want to leave that to the families, but I certainly appreciate their assistance in providing us information to aid in our search efforts.
Okay, Greg Higgins, Search Mission Coordinator with the U.S. Coast Guard. Thank you for your time. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.